Hi guys, it's me Karen, and we've come back to do part 2 from the book here, which is the Life Above the Water. That's what I'm going to call it. So we're doing this little picture over here. Sorry, I have the paper in there so I won't ruin the back side. I like the bee, and I don't want the these guys to bleed onto that when I'm putting pressure on this page, so I always put a piece of paper behind here. So we stick that on there, and then I have to put a little bit of weight on this page. I could cut this down, I guess, and then we could clip it. Just because it's on the wrong side of the page for me, I can't hold it down. So here we go. We've got this page, and we did the little extra leaf here. I just put the darkest color on this side and then drew it down, put the cream in here just like I did on this leaf. It's a little lighter only because it's kind of closer to the top of the sunshine, not down here where the dirt is. So we're gonna work a little bit more on here. We're gonna probably get down here into the dirt and color that in. We've only got a butterfly, 2 snails, mushrooms, and this little bug to do besides the bottom, so we might be able to finish this up. So I'm going to get the camera down, and we'll get the pencils out. Okay, I brought the camera down. It may be a little low, but I'm going to take the first color here, which is the brown ochre 182, and I'm going to draw a little tiny mouth area here on this little guy with this color. Okay, and then we're going to shade in a little here. That's where his mouthy comes down. Just going to add a little cuteness to him. We're going to come down the front here. This is, I changed colors. I got to turn it this way. I'm so sorry. Light yellow ochre. We're going to kind of come down a little, give him a little definition there. Kind of lighten these up. Okay, I'll come in with a little bit darker color, and that is going to be the Van Dyke Brown. Going on the edges, we're just using a very light pressure here. It's going to be a little darker because he's coming up from behind the leaf. And then we're going to add some of this into his shell. Okay, and then we're going to go in with, oh, probably the cream here, or ivory. So the ivory, We're going to stick that around his face. Okay, then we're going to pull in a little bit of the, hello, thread pencil, so sorry. I'm trying to get it so you can see the names. Cream. We're going to stick a little of that on there too. Put a little of that in the shell. Okay, we're going to pull in a little bit of raw umber. And put it in the shell also. And we'll bring in, I know, a lot of colors for a tiny little snail, but I'm going to sharpen this point. Move those out of the way. Sorry, I have to set everything on my desk so when I am done making the video and I need to put in the colors that I used, I have all the pencils where I need them to be. So this is the walnut, and we're going to trace over his little mouth here. And go down and fill in all the other areas. Put medium pressure down here to get that darker. And just in the shaded areas. Okay, we'll bring back in the brown ochre. I like that. That is a nice bright color for this, especially his shell. Okay, give him a little dusting there. Then we're going to bring in our eraser. I'm just going to double check to make sure the tip of this is not covered in any color. If you wonder why I do that all the time, it's just because a lot of the time I didn't. And I would just bring color in here. We're just going to lighten his cheek area up a little bit. We have to go over that a little bit more. It's kind of bumpy like that because, well, snails are kind of bumpy like that. So we're going to go in with some raw umber and just touch up his mouth a little bit. And go over everything again. Darken any areas you want darker. Then we're going to bring in a little, it's going to be very little white. I have to sharpen it with a hand sharpener. I've got to get to the store here pretty soon. Okay, this is the PC, which stands for Prismacolor. So it's the Prismacolor white. We're going to add a little white in his shell. Just like that. And we're going to put a little bit up here. And there we are. I'm done with one of my little snails. So we have the other one to do. We're going to do him in the same way, except for he is facing backwards, so you won't see his cute little face. So we can just color him in. So, yeah, I moved all the pencils. Whoops. Let's see, did not use that one. I got to check so I don't put these colors in. Yeah, I didn't use these, so we'll move those onto there. So we're going to go in with the browns again. Let's see. The raw umber, the brown ochre, the walnut, and we're going to darken him up with those colors because this is his back side. So we're just going to start down here. And that was the raw umber. We're going to come in with the brown ochre. And then the walnut. And we're going to do the same thing with his shell that we did up here. We're just kind of going to go around it in a little different way. I'm going to take the walnut down in each corner very lightly at first. Okay, then we'll bring in the raw umber. Okay, bring in the brown ochre. Is it brown? Yeah, brown ochre. Putting it back all over the other colors. Okay, bring in, I gotta sharpen it, it's the cream. Here we go. So we're bringing in cream. Okay, then we're going to go back over with all the colors that we had prior used. So we're going to go in with the walnut. Darken up anything we want darker. This part is the darkest down at the bottom, and this is the kind of darkest up at the top because the shell is round and indented. At least that's how I'm doing it. You can do it any way you want. Putting on a little bit more pressure on here, but only to the medium point. I have found with these, you cannot really press extremely hard like you can with the Prismacolors. So we're just going over now with the raw umber. Blending it into the cream a little bit. We want to highlight there, we don't want to stripe, so. As long as you do it lightly, you can get it to cover a bit of it without losing the color. And then we're going to go in with the white, and we're going to add some shine to it. So we're going to have a little shine coming on this side. So we'll put a little shine on there. And then we'll have a little shine probably hitting right up here. All right. Blend that a little bit with the yellow ochre. Just going to highlight the bottom part of the white. Then we will get the black pencil, go back over the black line. This is a Prismacolor. If you go over it too much, just make your line a little thicker. And there we go. So we've got the two little snails done. Now let's move on to the butterfly. We put all those pencils back up here. I kind of want a purple butterfly just to add a little bit more color to the page. So I am going to bring in some Prismacolors. And I think I can find some just sitting here on my desk in either the purple or the pink range. Let's see. Yeah, I got dark purple, Dioxazine Puple Hue. Boy, that's a name, isn't it? I'm trying to think of all the other colors I have here. And we'll grab a pink and a pink. Let's see. It's a lot of colors for a butterfly. So we'll take out one of the pinks. We'll take out one of the purples. Okay. So we're going to go with these three. So I have a Deco Pink. I have the dark purple and the one I had problems pronouncing. It's kind of a bluish purple color. So we're going to go in here first with some of the pink. So this is the Deco Pink. Okay, then we'll go in with the dark purple. Doing these lightly like I did the polys. Putting a nice light color down, and bringing it into the pink a little bit, and then we'll go back over it with the light pink and blend those colors together. Okay, back in with the pink, more pressure, and just blend. This is why I like the Prismacolors. Go over lightly and then put medium pressure on, the two colors become one. Okay, now we're going to go in with the Dioxazine Puple Hue. I'm going to go around in the spaces we have not colored yet, so we'll get the body of the wing a little darker. Oops, it's okay. Got a little in that pink part, so I'll have to fix that. And we'll do the same in the body, as we're going to put some of that in there. Alright, I'm going to come back in with the pink. And we'll see how these two blend together. And that makes a pretty color. There we go. If you want any other places lighter, we can always bring in the white and just whiten these up a little bit. This one did get a little murky. We're going to clean that one up by our eraser. Make sure your tip is not contaminated from the little brown we used in the other guy. So we're just going to mix that up with the white. We'll put a little white on his body too, so we can see it just a little bit better. And there we go. Now we are going to have to bring some of those colors down in here, because that's the only bright color we've got. So in the bug, we'll use the purple hue that we used up there. So we'll bring in some of the Deco Pink, and then we'll use a browner color. Bring in a dark brown. See how this works. If we don't like it, we can always change it. So, little bug here. Hold on a second. Okay, we will take the Dioxazine Puple Hue here. We're gonna go a little dark on this and bring it down on this side, and then lighten it as we come out. And do the same on the other side. Pretty dark here. And lighten it as we come out. We kind of have these marks here. We're going to follow those for the darkest part. Okay, Do a little of that up here too. And then maybe his feet. Okay, next color we're going to bring in we're going to bring in the dark brown. Bring some of that into the purple hue. Okay, I'm going to bring in a little bit of hot pink. Okay, I'm going to bring in some of the Deco Pink. Putting a lot of pressure on this to move around the color. I'm going to go back in with the darkest purple here. Going to redarken any areas I want a little more color in. Then we're going to go back over it with the lightest color, which is the pink. I want to sharpen that up a little bit. Okay, go in with the black, and we're just going to go over these lines again. I'm going to color in his eyes. We never colored this leg in. It's not special. Totally forgot about this little leg. So sorry, bug. Put a little extra black on this side. I want to get that a little darker. And there we go. So we have a little bug. It's kind of a deep purple bug, but he's a bug. And then we'll probably have to find a purple. We can put one in the mushroom or up in the flower or something, because we have a lot of brown. Purple's not really big on this picture so far. I'm going to bring the camera up a little. So I want 3 points of purple. So we either put it up here or we put it over here. And the mushroom I think will work. So we'll just get a mushroom done in purples. So we'll do the same color. We'll go in with the darkest hue here. Put it in that corner. And just bring it up lightly. Then we'll bring in, what we do with him is we brought in the hot pink. So put some of that in there. And then we'll bring in the Deco Pink. to blend all that together. And we'll put it down here on the bottom and in the stem. And the darkest purple down here at the base. And then some hot pink down here too to bring it up. Okay, so now we have 3 points of purple, which is always good. The earth down here we're going to do in the polychromos. So might as well switch back and forth, right? So we're going to go in with the walnut brown first, and I'll do this section here. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with the little bubbles yet, so I am avoiding them at present. I may just color them in with the browns like little rocks, but I don't know yet. Anyway, so walnut go down first. We're going to go around the edge in walnut. Sorry for the computer. Try to turn, you know what, I think I will just kind of go over these lightly with the walnut here. Just because there's a whole lot of them. But I still want the darkness above them. Hello, little ant. I may add a few more ants in here too. Just kind of bring that color up into the rest of the dirt area. Then we will bring in another color. Okay, so we're just going to keep just lightly going over this and bringing this color up a little bit. Okay, next color we'll pick is the Van Dyke brown, and just do the exact same thing. We're going to put it down kind of heavy at the bottom and lighten it as we go up. Okay, next color we're going to use brown ochre. Just the same process. We can go over all of even the roots here because they are in the dirt, so you don't have to worry about that. I want to kind of change the angle of the pencil being laid down, since we're using such light pressure to get rid of any of the lines, to cover that area a little bit better. I want that lighter color at the top more than I want it down at the bottom, so we're going to go over the bottom half of that again with the darker colors. Maybe I'll throw in another one too. What do we got here? I'm going to put a little burnt umber down here. So just again, light pressure. Going to where the little rocks start and just bringing it up. Sorry, I'm kind of watching what I'm doing. I'm not making any noise. Okay, then probably a little bit of, oh, I had it right, raw umber here. Some of that in these rocks down here too. Just on a few of these rocks, I'm putting a lot of pressure to get one of them a different color. So we're going to bring in the Caran d'Ache blender stick, make sure it has no other colors in it, and just lightly go over all of this. Burnish that color in. Trying to stay away from the roots doing this because they're a different part of the plant. And just kind of go around those rocks, a little circular motion here to blend any of those colors in. Give that a wipe. And that's how I'm going to do the portions of the brown. So I have, well, 2 more here and then this little area. And we're going to kind of blend in some in the walkway here in a lighter color. So when I come back, those areas will be done. And the only other guy we have to do is this little guy up here, and we're going to do him in green. So we have the earth green yellow, and we're going to color him in this. And then we'll bring in, I know I have more colors for him. The Juniper Green. These are the colors that I did the leaf in. So I'm putting a lot of pressure on the darkest area here, and then little tiny pressure on everything else. Okay, go back over it with the earth green yellowish. Okay, he's done. So yeah, I'm going to pause it now, and I'm going to finish these little pieces of land here, and then we'll come back, finish these mushrooms. We'll bring the rocks up this way, and then I think I'll just color these in green up here. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay guys, we're back, and I got the rest of the brown done. Now I did kind of go in with just the oddball when I was shading these areas, and pick a little rock and colored it in with the color I was using. That's why they all look a little different. So if I was shading up here in this color, I just picked a rock and went in and colored it. So it depended on what color I had in my hand at the time is the color of the rocks that ended up down here. So we're going to use that process going up and around also. Just picking one of these and coloring it in a color of the brown tones that I was using. So they'll be light and dark depending on which ones we pick. And we're also going to do that up here on some of the guys that are along here. So you just pick the colors that you think will look good. It's not a science or anything. I'm not going every third one or anything. I'm just picking up a pencil and, oh, well, it might look good right here, so plopping it down. Getting rid of that pencil, bringing in another pencil. And if they're close together, they're close together. If they're not, they're not. I mean, it doesn't make any difference. They look a little better if they're not, you know, next door to each other with the two dark tones, because some of those light tones look really good next to them. So might be a little harder to do when you're getting down to the lower numbers of your pencil shades here. And then I'll bring in a cream just to make one or a couple of these lighter than the other ones. Just so they all have some kind of color on them. We had brought in a dark brown in the Prismacolors too, so we might as well throw that in there. Get everybody cohesively colored. Everybody got a little bit of color on them. Okay, I think for the most part that is done. Throw some more down in here. Okay, I'm going to leave some of these empty because I'm going to do a little bit of distress inking on here, and I want to have some of that color go into the pieces up here. Excuse me. I have to color this mushroom, and we're going to do that in the pink. This is the pink. Is it Deco Pink? Yeah, I was going to say Pink Deco, but it's Deco Pink. So I'm going to put that down on the bottom here. And a little in here. Might as well have some pink mushrooms. I'm going to take the hot pink, add a little in here. I'm trying to figure out what this line is. Could be another mushroom back there, but there's no other stem, so I really don't know what it is. So anyway, we're going to color this in. And we're going to grab some of that Dioxazine Puple Hue and add some of that in there too. Okay, go back in with the Deco Pink. Okay, 2 mushrooms, and we're going to do this little guy over here with the Deco Pink. And then we're going to add in some green into that. I don't know. So, excuse me, just bring in some earth green yellowish. that in there. Throw some up here on this mushroom too. So this one is a polychromo, and the other colors here are Prisma, just so you know that. Add it in over here. Okay. We're also going to put some of this green down here in the top layer of rocks. Just wherever you want. Just bring some of that green down here to the bottom of the page. Kind of. Okay. Now we're going to do some inking. Hopefully the camera is up high enough to catch all of this. There we go. I'll try that. I'm going to bring in a little vintage photo to kind of fill in this area here, because our little ants can't just be crawling around in Nowhereville. They got to have some kind of chamber looking there. There are two areas here that I am going to take a little bit of it's sticky notepad, but I don't have any little ones, so we're just going to put some big ones there. We're going to open that up, and we're going to use one of these little makeup brushes and gather some of that vintage photo up. We're going to start over here and then just lightly bring in a little of that color and just kind of go up our little path here. So it can turn into a nice brown color, so it looks like it's under the earth or in the dirt or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to kind of bring it up here to where all these plants are. This will do two things. It'll bring some of that color into these areas, so it looks like we put that color on here on purpose. It'll also, if any of those white spots were not covered, we can make sure they get some kind of coloring in them. I'm going to darken this corner just by putting some more of that ink on that spot. So when we pull this away, kind of looks a little dark down here. I went out of the lines, it's no big deal. We're bringing in another color to do the top half and kind of go around here with, and that is Victorian Velvet. I'm going to use the same brush. I'm just going to take this and I'm going to wipe off the brown. It comes off for the most part, but we don't mind if there's a little of brown in the Victorian Velvet, which is a pink brown tone. So what we're going to do is put some ink on this one, and then we're just going to go around lightly. Now I want to start someplace that's dark and has a lot of color on it already. So like right about here, and we'll pull some of that Victorian Velvet out here. And see, we're covering up our little mistake that we made with a little of this pink. Make sure we get it inside where we have pink up here. So we'll start on the bug and kind of go up in this area. Get it down in here. Can blend in with the brown down here. Bring it up by the snails. Our butterfly. Our plants. Get a little more down in there. I'm going to put that in those flowers. So any of those rocks that didn't, or bubbles, or whatever you want to call them, that didn't get color on them, will pick up the purple. Or pink, I'm sorry, it's Victorian Velvet. It's a pink color. It's one of my favorites. You see it a lot. So I'm going to just kind of in where it's behind, I just keep adding a little bit more, darkens that area up a little bit. So I want to go up there and we'll bring some color out over on this side. Up around the butterfly. And around down here. I'm just kind of darkening it here and there. Okay, I'm gonna take one of these rags, sorry, wipe up on the picture anywhere that it may have gotten a little on the areas. Like right in here is when I took the blending tool and I probably went out of the lines. The way to fix that, since it's a wax piece and the Distress ink will not color that area, is to go in with color that kind of matches. So pink rose might not be a good idea. Let's see. I know I usually go in with some one of my colors that I use in the other book. I have to pull them all out to see which one I use. Because we don't want purple. We want one of the pinks. Usually we'll go in with the black raspberry. Just because it's a nice dark color. And we can make that a little darker here with the shadow. So we can cover up that area. And kind of bring it out into the pink area. And you can put a shadow under butterfly. Or anywhere else you couldn't get the ink. If you wanted a little bit more color in certain areas. Just go in with that and darken up some spots. And then I'll blend that in. With the blending stick or a different color, it all depends. Just darken up here too. Of course, this is all up to you, how much you want to put on, how much you don't. I usually will splatter this with water, but I know it won't really come up on this book. So I'm going to take some sparkle, put it on here, and I'm going to splatter it with some white acrylic paint. So I'll use that on a plastic sheet with my long brush and just tap it on here and put a little white splatter on it. And that will be after I decide if I want some more little ants in here. So we're basically done with the picture. I will fiddle around with some more of these rocks, then darken and lighten them up, but for the most part it is done. I have other videos on my channel where I show you how I do the white splatting of the paint, so if you want to see that, you can check out videos on my channel for that. Some of these dots in here, I'm just going to take black and go in throughout here and pick a couple of these just to turn them in black. So I think that kind of looks a little cool. You can do this with a pen. Do some of these rocks down in here too, in black. You can do it with a, like I said, a pen or your pencil. Doesn't matter. I'll do it with both. But at the end of the video, I will show you the finished page. I hope you guys enjoyed. I enjoyed having you with me, or following, which one you want to do. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye now.